Hello and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial we're gonna do this very easy stitch, 2 rows repeat. I'm gonna use 4.5mm crochet hook, and this stitch works with even numbers. And after you chain your even numbers, we're gonna skip the first chain, and into the second chain from the hook I'm gonna work on the back of the chain through the bump. We're gonna do a single crochet, so into the second chain from the hook, single crochet, and then in each chain we're gonna do single crochet. You can start this row with half double crochet if you like directly. You don't need to put this single crochet row. But I think for a blanket, I think it's nice to start with a single crochet first, give it a little bit of base, or a hat if you like. So the last chain, single crochet, chain one, turn your work, and now we're gonna do into the first stitch half double crochet, next stitch half double crochet, and so on. This stitch has only 2 rows repeat, in which one row it's half double crochet in each stitch, and this should go very fast. I think this stitch is nice if you work with a soft yarn, for example for a hat, and you can use variegated yarn. You can, I think it will look really nice with variegated, or you can change colors every 2 or 4 rows, depends on you, if you like every 2 or 4 rows. Okay, last stitch half double crochet, chain one, turn your work. You always want to chain one and then turn your work. So into the first stitch, but we're not going to work through the stitch, we're going to work through the line underneath the stitch. So the stitch is here, you know? So we're going to work through these lines. So the first line is here, and we're going to do a puff. So once and twice. If you like to go, let's go 3 times. So yarn over the hook, we're gonna go 1 more time. Yeah, pull the yarn through all the loops. So into the next stitch we're gonna do a slip stitch, into the next stitch, but through the line we're gonna do a puff. So once, twice, and the 3rd time. If you think the puff going 3 times is too big, then you can go only twice. So into the next stitch, slip stitch. So we're gonna alternate like this. Into the next stitch we're gonna do a puff, pull the yarn through all the loops, next stitch, which is that line, we're gonna do a slip stitch, next stitch it's a puff, next stitch slip stitch, next stitch it's a puff, once, twice, and the 3rd time. Pull the yarn through all the loops, next stitch, through that line we're gonna do a slip stitch, and the last stitch we're gonna do a puff. So once, twice, and the 3rd time. Chain one, turn your work. So the next we're gonna do half double crochet in each stitch. So the first stitch is here, yarn over the hook, we're gonna do a half double crochet, next stitch half double crochet, next stitch half double crochet, and so on. So this is the stitch. You just have to remember that you can work through the stitch if you like, but you're not going to have that ridge unless you work through that. You see, you have here this ridge. You're not going to have this one if you work through the stitch. Yeah, that's why we pick up with that through that loop. half double crochet, and the last stitch, yarn over the hook, go there, half double crochet. So it's gonna look like this. So now you're gonna chain one and you're gonna start. You see the lines are here, so you're gonna start with the puff. The next it's a slip stitch, next it's a puff through the line, next it's a slip stitch. And if you start with a puff, you should finish with a puff into the last stitch. If you start, some of you might want to start with a slip stitch, then you should finish with a slip stitch into the last stitch. Yeah, this will work really fast. I did a sample, so it looks really nice. You can do like a blanket but vertical if you like. But for a headband, for a hat, this will look like this. So when you finish the work, you should finish with a half double crochet the last row, and then you're ready to close the work. So these are the sides if you start with the puff. Yeah, both sides with the puff. If you start with a slip stitch, well, might look different. Maybe some of you, if you want to do, for example, you're doing cardigan and you want to join the panels for a cardigan, maybe you don't like to work attaching or sewing through the puffs. Maybe you want some edge, so maybe you should do with starting with a slip stitch and finishing with a slip stitch in the last stitch. Well, I hope you enjoy. Have fun with this stitch. Goes really fast. I think this one is nice to work with. How you call that? With a variegated yarn, or you know, changing colors every 2 rows. So after you do the puff row and the half double crochet row, then when you start with the puff, then you change. Yeah, or the other way around. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.